What's up, guys? I'm going to show you a Spanish rice with pigeon peas, and we're going to serve that on a side of Piccadillo, which is going to be a ground meat mixture with some racao, tomato paste, a little bit of capers, and some olives. So everything you need, pretty simple. You're going to need some racao, which is kind of like a sofrito. It's like your Spanish-based cooking. This is my family's recipe. You could buy this at the store. It's not as good as mine. If you want to know what's in mine, shoot me a message and I'll let you know. To that, we're going to have tomato paste as well. And this is pigeon peas. Just go down the Spanish Latin aisle. You'll see the big Goya brand pigeon peas. Got 3 cups of rice. It's already rinsed and dried off. And then we're going to use for the meat beef brisket, and I'm going to show you how to grind that. But first I'm going to start off with the rice because it takes about 45 minutes. Alright, so I got the Dutch oven going here. It's pretty warm right now. I'm going to turn it down to medium heat. I'm going to coat some oil down on the bottom of the pan. Good generous amount. What you're going to do is you're going to add your rice to that. Now the rice is dried. It's not cooked yet. So what this is going to do is going to toast the rice. Going to toast the rice. Now this is how you make Spanish rice. I'm going to show you how this is done. We can get our little trusty scoop here. Mix this all around. You want to get this, everything covered in oil, toasted pretty well. I'm going to let that go for a couple minutes. Now all these recipes right here were taught actually by my mom, but my grandmother taught her. Every time I make this, I always think about my family, especially in these times, right? Aww. Always want to be thinking about your loved ones. At the end of the day, that's all that really matters, am I right? Get it nice and toasted. To this, we're going to make a little spot in the middle so we can add our racao. Now I have 3 cups of rice in here, so I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of the racao. Now all it is just a mixture of cilantro, other different vegetables and herbs, some olive oil, salt, pepper, lots of garlic. It just, once you put it onto the pan and it's heated up and you start cooking it, it releases this big strong aroma that's just, it just smells really good. So this is going like that. Toast it up a little bit more. Okay. See how it's getting nice and shiny. Everything's coated in oil. Toast it up. To that, we're going to add a little bit of tomato paste. Go ahead and open that. Tomato paste is going to kind of give it its color. Now, for you people out there who are Spanish, you can add the achote pepper as well. Give it a little bit more color. I just do not have any achote pepper, and don't really want to go to the store right now if I don't really need anything but just the pepper, right? Am I right? So this is gonna give it its color. Let's say like 2 heaping tablespoons, let me say. Cooking it down through, like that. Nice color. Now since it's 3 cups of rice, you're going to add 6 cups of water. But what I like to do, I like to add just 3 cups of water in the beginning. So we're going to add like 3 cups of water just in the beginning. That way you kind of mix it a little bit around more. And if you have time, you can make chicken stock, or if you have chicken stock, I would use chicken stock instead of water, but it gives it more flavor. What I'm going to use is chicken bouillon instead. Kind of just eye it. That's good, right? Now because we're adding chicken bouillon, don't add too much salt, but you still want to salt it, just a little bit. Bam. And then I just mix this around. Kind of get that tomato paste broken down. That's the kind of color it's going to have when the rice comes out all done and fluffy. I'm going to show you how we add the pigeon peas in. You don't want to add it in the beginning because it's just going to mush it down. So that's good. Everything's mixed. We'll add 3 more cups of water. See, it's starting to boil right now. That's when I'm going to add my other 3 cups. Push that to the side. And I like to get a really tight seal for the rice. That way it cooks nice and evenly. So what I like to do, I'm going to put the lid on top as well, but I like to cover it with aluminum. This is probably a lot cheaper than toilet paper and paper towels right now, so go ahead and pick up yourself some aluminum. But don't wipe your ass with it. It's going to hurt. So go ahead and tuck that in. TTF, tuck, tuck, fold. We're going to let that go for 30 minutes. Total time is going to be 45 minutes cooking. So 30 minutes on. Once it's done with 30 minutes, I'm going to lift this up, add the gandules or the pigeon peas, then cover it for another 15 minutes. All right, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to show you how to cut up the meat, and then we're going to start the meat dish right now. So we're doing the Piccadillo. What I got right here is a KitchenAid mixer. We just bought this attachment. This is just a meat grinder attachment. This is what I use to make all my hamburgers, meatballs, anything I'm going to even chorizo or sausages. So what we do right here is we got a beef brisket, nice coloring. It's limited selection at the stores. You know what all you hoarders are. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that into small pieces so it just could fit in there. And then we'll go ahead and grind that out. Go ahead and turn it on. It's going to get a little noisy. Hold on. I like to say I like grinding my own meat just because you know what you're putting in there. So it's not like, I don't know, like hooves, antlers, or whatever, you know, left over on the cow. Even if you grind your own beef, just get a piece of chuck and grind it. That way you know it's 100% chuck. All right, here we go. So I got the pan going, about warm, kind of like medium high. I'm going to go ahead and add some oil. Then you're going to add your beef mixture. Salt, pepper to it. Not too much salt because we're going to add some olives and capers in it as well. Lots of pepper. And we're just going to brown it for a little bit. You don't want to cook it all the way through just yet. Just get some brown coloring to it. When half of it's brown, kind of like that, you want to add in your racao. Just add like 3. Well, since I got 3.5, I'll just add the rest. Yeah, we'll just do that. So 3.5 tablespoons. Mix it around. Get that flavor infused to all the meat. If you could smell what it smells like, oh man, it smells so good. There's like a Puerto Rican dish, like a Puerto Rican lasagna. The Piccadillo is the meat that I use inside of it. It's really good, minus the olives and the capers. See how it's getting that brown color? And all the pink's almost through. Okay. Then when we get to this point, you want to just add a little bit of tomato paste. And just a little bit of water. This is going to be like that sauce it's going to make mixed with the tomato paste. Now you can use chicken stock. Since I don't have any chicken stock made, I'm just going to add a little bit of chicken bouillon. That's good. And we're going to just mix it all around. For those of you people out there wondering what Spanish food is, this is Spanish food. Like Mexican food's Mexican food. This is Spanish food. This is good. So, like most people think Spanish food is just like Mexican food, but it's not. Mexican food is great, but this is what I'm talking about. So we're gonna add some green olives, some capers. The olives have the pits in them. All you have to do is just smush the olive down. Pits come flying right out. This is gonna add a bunch of saltiness to it. Okay. Maybe a little bit more tomato paste. Mix that in. I'm not too keen on like measurements, hence the reason why I'm not good at baking, but I kind of eyeball everything to taste. Usually everything's close, so close to what I made the time before. If not, I could always add some more into it. I need to change the flavor profile. So you're just gonna let that cook. That's gonna cook for like, I'd say like 8 minutes or so. You don't want it to dry out too much. Don't want the sauce to come down, but you kind of want to reduce it by a little bit, get the sauce a little bit thicker. And this is your Piccadillo. I'll show you what the rice looks like, and then I'll plate everything up for you guys. Okay, one last step. We're gonna take the rice. It's been about a little over a half hour. Uncover it. You see the rice is mostly cooked. Add a little bit of your gandules or pigeon peas right here. We're just gonna mix it through a little bit. Once we mix that through, it's just gonna give it time to cook a little bit more. Rice is pretty much done. We just want to heat up the pigeon peas through. And that's how simple Spanish rice is made. So go ahead and cover that bad boy back up. Say like another 10 minutes or so. Probably just 10 minutes. And then I'll plate it up and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. All right, so I got the rice done. That's the finished product. I got over here my Piccadillo. I'm gonna go ahead and plate it. Anybody could cook Spanish rice if you use my recipe. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody could cook Spanish rice. But once you guys try this rice, you'll love it, I guarantee it. Okay, put a little bit of that on there. And don't be afraid to get too crazy. So, you know what we did earlier when we made that cilantro oil for breakfast earlier? Let's go ahead and put some of that on there. And how about some chopped red onions, huh? There we go. So this is the finished product. Spanish rice with pigeon peas, Piccadillo. We had leftover cilantro oil, so we just sprinkled that on top with some red onions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys try it, let me know how it turns out. Take some pictures, shoot me an instant message or anything like that. Don't forget to hit that like button. All right? Talk to you guys later. Peace.